Hi there, welcome along to the loft, and it's been a couple of weeks now, so I'm been back up here doing some more progress because I know that you've been quite excited. We keep getting asked in the live stream about what's actually going on up here, and not a lot for 2 weeks, but I've had a little bit of a flurry of activity. So without further ado, I'll show you what I've been up to, and I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. Back up in the loft, and not one, not two, but three new lights. They finally arrived, been fitted. They're LEDs, so as you can see, it's a good deal brighter up here. To all those people who were saying that, oh, you need to get some brighter lights, and I kept saying, well, they're on order. Well, here they are. They are on order, and so much brighter up here. So very pleased with that. I'm going to crack on now. I've been very busy on other projects, so as you can see, not really a lot has changed up here. But now I've got the new lights, I'm going to spend an evening, I'm going to have one evening to myself up here. And I'm going to see what I can do scenery-wise, so let's get on with it. Well, I've got one of these Shaper Sheet starter kits from Woodland Scenics. Basically, the guy on the Woodland Scenic stall sold this idea to me. Sold a few things to me actually, but I'm busy making a hash out of it, so I've mixed up my plaster, and if we go over here, I've cut up the Shaper Sheet and tried to push it in, wetted it down, and we're going to see how much of a pig's ear I end up making of this. It's my first ever attempt, so, well, I'm going to see how it goes, but I have a fear that I've put too much water in this plaster. So I've already made a hash of it. Let's see how it goes. Hi there everyone, it's been a while since we were up in the loft, I know. So I've been very busy, the Volvo 600 event and a trip to London, along with other projects going on in the background. But I'm back up here doing some work, festooned with stuff. It does pile up. But what you can see over here is I've got some of the Woodland Scenics foam risers. I've never used these before. This is a new venture for me. So here's the box. Oh, it's a bit floppy box. Coming at you. So we've got incline, decline set, 4%. This is about the steepest that they do out of the box. So obviously you can make steeper by overlaying another gradient over the top of this gradient. And they were quite well recommended by my friend Brian, who you might remember from one of the live streams, and also we visited his railway room, and he said they're actually pretty good. So I've got two sets of these, and one of them is going to be a gradient up to the top of the hump. You can see I'm just starting to fit in where the track's going to go there, and just ignoring the ballasting for the moment. I'll come back and talk about that and some of this landscape. There's going to be another one. You see where basically this line goes, and there's going to be a bridge here, and then another decline down here, and that's going to join into that double slip over there. Now, what else has been going on? Well, actually, there's been quite a lot going on. I've talked a little bit about the lights, finally got all those in, and you can see the difference it makes. And, you know, we've gone from having a pretty feeble old energy saving bulb, which is always very dim and horrible, and I was having to actually take that one there that's on a little clamp and move that to where I'm working. That can now go and find a more permanent home underneath. I'm going to keep using those. There's another couple in the shed that will find a home in here as well, and they will enable light underneath and probably also help some of the hidden siding areas. So, scenery-wise, you can see I've started trying to do some of the ballasting. It probably looks pretty grim and grotty at the moment. I had so much trouble with the glue I was using, but it has finally dried. But really, I think maybe I'm out of practice because it's been so long since I've done ballasting. But I forgot to colour the sides of the rails down there, which is like, no! So I'm going to have to go over and hopefully I can get my permanent ink on all those rail sides, but I'm going to have to colour some of the other stuff. And one of the problems I've been getting is, you can see there, for some reason the glue's been turning the sides of the rails green. Now, I've never had that before. You can see there on the double slip. So, some of this is old track. It's track which has been used elsewhere, and I think we're getting a reaction with the glue, which I've been using Deluxe Materials Speed Bond PVA glue, and it's certainly reacted with the Geoscenics concentrate that I put in, that normally does a really nice job of highlighting all the ballast. But you can see it sort of clumped together and has ended up as sort of some mucky patches between the rails. So I'm going to have to experiment. I think I need to get just ordinary bog standard cheap and cheerful PVA glue. But certainly ballasting is proving an issue. You can also see there Woodland Scenics shaper sheets have been used there. Now see, have I got... Yes, I do have an unused piece. So this is what you get. Oh, shiny. That's the underside, and it's almost like it's like thick turkey foil, which is basically a thicker version of baking foil. But on the other side, they've bonded to its entirety very thoroughly this sort of, it's not really a bandage, but there's this sort of furry layer, and this you can sort of scrunch it up, make any shapes you want, and it holds that shape. You can see there, and you can cut it up into whatever sizes you want, and then bully it into shape, and then you kind of put plaster over the top. So it's this white side up, this furry side, and then the plaster kind of infuses that furry side and then sets quite hard. So this should be, yeah, pretty hard there. You know, obviously don't go gung-ho, because your finger will go through and break it. It's not the thickest layer of plaster, but it is completely self-supporting. So I've got my representation of a culvert in there, just a piece, an offcut of PVC pipe has gone in there. I've got the bridges to build. You can just about see the abutments test fitting and underneath there. And just on there, I've got some of the girders made up. Now, on this subject, a big gripe with Pico. Back in the day, and you know, Pico makes wheels and ratio. This is the kit, right? Card back, which is pretty good because I tend to reuse these card backs as the deck. So this is a bit old. Got it from Frising Hall Model Railway. It's a couple of years ago now, so it's old stock. And there was just a couple of blister packs, very small amounts of plastic. Now, big gripe, and they've done this to their entire range. So even the Pico track rubbers are coming like this. So from this packaging, if I can just dig it out, what we now have is this packaging. Look at all the plastic. I thought we were supposed to be cutting back on our use of plastic. So Pico, you are on the naughty step for this, because what are you doing? All your points as well used to come in cardboard boxes, and now I find they all come on these sort of huge plastic blister pack things. It's unnecessary plastic, and it's also, you may say, oh yeah, well it's recyclable. Yeah, if you live in like the one town in the UK whose council does accept this for recycling. I know around here this packaging cannot be recycled. It goes to the incinerator or landfill, and that is pretty much replicated up and down the country. So Pico, please, your cardboard packaging was so much better and it was so much more eco-friendly. What are you doing? You know, we're banging on about, and you know, there's another one I bought recently. That's the Very Girder kit. More plastic packaging. And, you know, don't try and tell me, oh, you can use it for glazing. It's brilliant for that. Yeah, not the amounts that's coming. You know, I'm getting Pico point motors are coming in that. The track rubbers are coming in that. Everything has lashings and lashings of that plastic packaging. And really, it's in this day and age, it should be going the other way. It should be going back to the cardboard packaging so it can be recycled. But there we are, gripe over. Now, ballasting. Ballast is just basically like sand. So buy your sand from the builder's merchants, make sure it's kiln dried, and you're good to go. Now, I haven't got as good an effect here with the kiln dried sand, because I had some issues with the speed bond. But there's going to be ballast, grime, all sorts going to go in here. And also you can, you distribute some of your static grass. Will start to, cover over some of this. It's not going to be weed free. It's going to be, a proper yard. So this will get improved, and hopefully, if I can get to the bottom of the glue issues, I'm going to be all right. I mean, that green over there is really annoying, isn't it? It shouldn't be turning green. It is, and I think it's a glue issue with the track. So again, I'm going to try and get to the bottom of that. It may even be, if you paint them, you're not going to get that. Maybe we're going back to the laborious painting of rail sides. I really don't want to do that. I hate doing that. Some people hate ballasting. I hate painting the sides of the track. It does make them so much better, but I hate doing it. Anyway, all this yabbering isn't going to get any progress on, so I'm going to start work on this incline over there, and also I want to try and get another incline in over here, and that'll really start to progress stuff. So I'll catch you in a bit. Still test fitting at this end. Just got to get it right and work out where it's going. And actually, what I've discovered here is the problem is it's going to obscure the track behind quite badly. So I may be going back to my original idea, and it'll also ease that curve, is to have a bridge across all three lines there. This track to run along the back, and then when it gets round to here, I'm going to have some kind of a big mountainous thing. So the lower lines, the double track and the single track, will dive through a tunnel and have the top track come back over the top of the tunnel, and then have the incline, the main part of the incline, along here. So that's what I'm thinking. However, in the meantime, what you can see over here, that book is actually just weighting that down while some glue dries. And I've got the incline in. I've put some screws through. These actually go through and in the main hit where there's cross members underneath. It just gives it a little bit of strength. The glue, though, will mostly hold it. The screws just hold it until the glue sets. And that will then allow me to run the track down here and, as we were saying before, join up with the double slip over there. And that'll be pretty good. That'll mean that for the first time, the top area will be connected to the bottom area. So coming along, great guns. Yeah, I think over there I'm going to have to bridge the lines. It's not ideal from a construction point of view, but from an aesthetic point of view, I think that's really the way to go. We're coming to the end of the day, and you can see progress has actually been quite rapid. So we're back to seeing really good developments. Now, I've done a little bit of wiring as well, so you can probably just about see just there. Soldered some droppers in just to make sure. But the top part of the hump is now connected via this incline for the first time to the rest of the network. So you can see it's all down there, all track put in. And I've actually test run a locomotive up there. It's not all running at the moment. I'm filming this because I forgot to earlier on. But the newspaper that you see on top of there is so that when I come to ballast, the ballast doesn't just disappear down. You can see there the way it's designed. It would just fill with ballast, and I don't want that. So I've glued newspaper to the top, and then glued the track to the newspaper, and pinned it as well as much as I can, trying to get the pins into the risers. But hopefully that'll be all right. The ballast will also help hold it all once everything's together. But that's where I'm up to. And then over at the far end, I've started work there for what will be another incline. But I need to build a bridge across just there, along the back. And then there's a tunnel mouth position there. There's going to be sort of like a big hill here is the plan. So the lower lines, the three lines there, will go through a double track tunnel and a single track tunnel, but I will need a double track portal because of these points here. And the top level will come around, go over the top, maybe try some rock faces and stuff. You know, I've become very impressed by Les's handiwork. So, and then down here, there will be the ramp down. You can see the risers here. So these will be just down here somewhere. What I might do is possibly even build it above this ramp. So it might be a bit more woodwork to do in there. I don't know really. I'm not too desperate to motor on with that bit too quickly. The other bits that I need to now get on with is all of these sidings here. I've got track now. I bought another 25 yards from Hatton's when I was there. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to get all these sidings in. Well, they're not really sidings, they're loops. And there are going to be 2 points over there to be the other end of those loops. And then I've got the bottom of the hump. See, they all come together here, and then they'll go back out, and there'll be a whole bunch of lines coming round, some very long ones actually, to match up with some of these lines over here. And then we're going to have the inner line coming around here, and I've got to build some little small minor bit of a gradient there, and that will join up with the bottom of this line. Those girders there, you might recognise them. They were in the garden railway, and they're going to be the sides. I've got to clean them up first, but they're going to be attached here, and that's going to form the bridge that goes across. So that'll be this sort of bowstring girder bridge, and yeah, just build it up and build it up. The actual tower for the hump will go here somewhere. I'm gonna have to, I might get that commissioned, just get that built. Although saying that, I might hunt around. Airfix did a World War II sort of utility of, it was the control tower for an airfield. So I must have a look around, see if that kit's still available from anywhere. And that might form, a couple of those might just form the basis for the control tower. So I'm going to have to think about that. But there we go. I've got to go back to work now. I've got 4 days working away from home, so it's going to be Sunday before I can come back and do some more on Weir Yard. So until next time, I hope this video has been informative to you. Don't forget to like this video and share it too, and also subscribe to the channel, and you'll be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take really good care of yourself. Bye for now. Today's video has been brought to you in part thanks to the generous donation of my fans on Patreon, and a huge thanks goes out to Anthony Kidson, Mark Anthony, Michael Churchwood, Bob Threeton, Alec Ralph, Anthony Hunt, William Wade, Wayne Johns, and Offshore Alan. If you'd like to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk. Thank you. Today's video has been brought to you by my books, Bringing Home the Stars, Twinkle Little Star, and also you can get the complete comic collections of All Over the House, Books 1, Books 2, and also the wacky zany Life of Knobty Mouse. Thanks, and catch you later.